ini ada beberapa buku, ada beberapa pendekatan yang cukup bagus untuk dijadikan referensi yang mencoba menjelaskan konsep dari sistem teori ini ya, yang bagaimana menjelaskan tentang kompleks fenomena dengan beberapa point of view. Nah, ini adalah peneliti-peneliti yang sangat pointing ya di dunia filsafat ilmu komputer atau di sistem teori, seperti Ludwig Luhmann, kemudian Buckminster, Paul Schiller, dan lain sebagainya. Jadi ini akan memberikan fondasi yang bagus ketika kita melihat bahwa sebenarnya kalau dalam kasus kita, misalnya kita tidak perlu lagi mempermasalahkan misalnya kita di computer science, sistem informasi, atau prodi teknologi informasi, tapi sebenarnya kita punya fenomena-fenomena sendiri di dalam prodi kita yang bentuknya kurikulum dan lain sebagainya, tetapi kalau kita lihat dalam konteks misalnya di level kampus gitu ya, di level universitas, kita kumpulan dari kompleks fenomena. Nah, ini yang kemudian menyebabkan kita menjadi kekuatan dari semacam itu. So that's the meaning of the system theory. Yeah. So the system theory actually collecting the complex phenomena, yeah, in the very simple word. Yeah. So in the technology itself, we have a concept. The concept is about the complexity atau kompleksitas. Yeah. The complexity theory is mean of that we see that the system that are nonlinear. Yeah. So it's mean there is no system that is work in linear way. Yeah, so it will be like non-linear. It's mean it's not serial. It can be parallel and it can be simultaneous. Yeah, so it's mean like we can see that maybe in one major of the science it will be produce something more advanced, and then the others will be followed. So let's see, like in the case of the bioinformatics, for example, you can see that the biological science actually already result the DNA sequencing analysis using the biological method. Yeah, but after they discover several methods on it, it inspired the computer science to develop the algorithms to compose the DNA sequence of the things. Yeah, and then so that's why we found several algorithms that inspired by the DNA sequencing in the biology. So it's mean that it doesn't matter. We say that, oh, so if that's it. So in that condition, it's mean like the computer science is left behind. No. So in the science system theory, there is no science that left behind. All the major is work in the front line, and then the other will be try to support with their knowledge and you see the bioinformatics is one of the merging between the biology and the computer science that will become new complex science. Yeah, so that will be. So you can see the bioinformatics itself in biology is discussed about the complex phenomenon, how to identify and then compose the DNA sequencing by the biological things. Yeah, and we try to make it easy with the help of the technology and the computing power, and then so we can deliver the DNA sequencing that more fast and more reliable, yeah, for them. Yeah. So that's mean the non-linear. Yeah. So it doesn't need to like a QQ. Yeah. So it will be dynamic. Yeah. So that's when if the system is not linear, it will become dynamic. Yeah. So the development of the science will be very dynamic, and then will be rely on the development of the current situation in the world. Yeah. So let's say I found a good example. Yeah. This one. So faulting at home, for example. This is the example of the how it actually this is like the initiation that we want to build a supercomputer in the world that using the contribution all of the people in the world that have the computing power. we just need to download the software, the folding at home, and then we will let our computer system as one of the node of supercomputer to, and then we try together to create and then to understand the SARS-CoV-19 therapies, and then to find the you know the vaccine and so on. So that's also the cool thing, because I think we crossed the border. Yeah. So it's mean the philosophy of technology, the philosophy of science, actually a real have a real implementation in the initiation like this. Yeah. So I think you take a look. This is how the science works. Yeah. There is no claim that, for example, the medical person more advanced than computer science, but we together to try to contribute in the good way that we can do for every one of us. And then if we can do that one, I think we can do a lot of things, yeah, and we can help the world to save from the SARS-CoV and so on. So that's what one of the cool things. Yeah. So I think don't just take a look. This initiation is just like a technological things, yeah, but in the philosophical way, it's very, very, very deep, yeah, I think, yeah. So that would be also the cool thing, yeah. So that's the example of how the nonlinear and dynamic system it can be work, and actually if we keep this one, I think it will be very promising. We can solve any problem in the world, yeah. And the second is about the emergence. Yeah. The emergence is about based on the nonlinear system and dynamic system. It's very easy to us to produce and then to resolve the state of the art of the innovation. Yeah. And we can produce the new one. We can use the breakthrough. We can use the innovation from it. Yeah. And I think most of the current method or algorithm in computer science, especially in the neural network-based algorithm, is very inspired and collaboration with the life science things. Yeah, so that's why we can emergence on here. Yeah, and then of course the responsibility of the science is not only just for exclusively for several persons, but it needs to be open and be used for any person in the world. Yeah, and also we kick back the result of knowledge for better knowledge, yeah, for better society. Yeah, so that will be also the process. Yeah. And sometimes the complexity is came from the unknowable at the outset. Yeah, sometimes we also involve the parameter from the outset of the organization, and then make it something that more complex. Yeah, so that also one of the thing I think, like cultural, social condition, and also the region condition, also one of the challenge on this point. Yeah, and then interdependent. Yeah, and then self-organizing. So in here you can see that the complexity is not a disadvantage here, but it can become the advantage of the science itself. Yeah, without any complexity, I think the technology and the science it cannot be developed, yeah, in the future, and then it make it's not work. Yeah, so I think it's very important to us to understand that the complexity is mandatory in the development of the science. Yeah. So I think we also understand if our life, if we face the complexity more the level is increasing, I think that make our life is life, yeah, something like that. So yeah, the complexity itself have great attention on the discussion and then in the theory. Yeah. So that's why we can find a book that discuss the complexity theory on the several several book. Yeah. So when I try to finishing my PhD, for example, it's also one of my I need to discuss with my supervisor about the complexity in very deep way. Yeah. So that's also one of the philosophical thing about the complexity is very important. So so for you, for the student, I think even you are in the bachelor level, but I think when you found like complexity on your research, on on your processes to finish your study, that's mean that you are have the phenomenon, your own phenomenon. That's mean that you have a complex phenomenon, and in the same time, it gives you a strong reason that you are in the right track. Yeah, so that's why I think that you should be happy if you have the complexity in on your activities. Yeah, and I think in the current world, in current discussion, we can see that the complexity we can see on the and the every discussion. Yeah, every discussion topic. Like say like in the big data, we have a problem on the complexity in the machine learning. Yeah, so for example, in the science and biology become a math problems. Yeah, because we try to the combination between the science and biology, we can see in the like DNA sequencing, it will be go to the will be complex if we go through to the mathematical model, something like that. Yeah, so I think that's also the cool thing. But if we took a look in more deep, the complexity, yeah, it will be not complex if we can model, we make a model in the mathematic way, yeah, something like that. Yeah, so that will be the good things. Yeah. Okay, thank you for Atri. You give the link on the YouTube about the faulting at home. Yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, I can say to you that in our lab, in the computer system and network lab, we also contribute about 10 node, yeah, for faulting at home. Yeah, to know how it's work actually. Yeah, so very interesting. And the next is like the algorithm on the machine learning. Yeah, so for creating the data model, for example, using the data training, and then we do some data tests, and then we have a data validation. It also have their own complexity. So not only just about the type of data, but also the data structure itself. The data is structured or unstructured, and etc. It's also one of the complexity that we can found. Yeah. And then if we go to the deep learning, it will be more complex here. So I think real-time image and video processing, and then we go through to analyze the feature extraction. I think one of the tough challenge here on the deep learning. And then if we, especially if we deal with the data that not have a high quality data set, yeah. So that will be more complex. But I think the complexity will be push us to the breakthrough. Yeah. So in the limitation of the complexity, actually give us the opportunity to think outside the box. Yeah. So in that point, the philosophy of the science or the philosophy of technology is work. Yeah. So in that point, you have the opportunity to develop the technology in the new spectrum, into the next level. So that's the point. Yeah. So that's why and the researcher is very happy to work in the lab, yeah, until midnight to find out the phenomena. If they have some complexity, they have some difficulties, they will try uh, to 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 find out what they can do for solving that problem. And if they have the solution, they will found the novelty and also the breakthrough. Yeah. So you can see from the Nobel Prize, for example, yeah, they are the people that work hard to find out the way from the difficulties, yeah, from the limitation. So after they found the limitation, they try to find the solution on it, and then the solution maybe will not exist yet, yeah, but they will propose some method, some new concept that may be still under discussion on the scientific forum and so on. But actually, when it's accepted, and then it's logic, and then accepted in the scientific world, yeah, that will be the new theory. So that will be the cool things on it. Yeah. And we can found in the like of the discussion on the artificial intelligence, on the big data analytic, that we encourage and then we challenge to resulting the new insight of the data. Yeah. So that will be the challenge here. Yeah. So that the cool thing of the philosophy of science. This is the example about the big data and the complexity that we can find here. So of course, we can see the complexity on the, for example, in the big data analytics today. Yeah. So the algorithmic reality is also complex. Yeah. We cannot just let the the algorithm work, but we need to custom the algorithm based on the case, and then in that time we will found a new approach of the algorithms. Yeah. So maybe we can hybrid the algorithm, or maybe we can modify the algorithm that will fit with the problems. Yeah. So in here, that the big data machine learning analytic will be one of the will be the point of the complexity. So yeah, this is we also have same things. Yeah, I think the complexity when we discuss about the in the term of the modeling. Yeah, for example, in the Wheeler equation modeling, about graphical model and etc. Especially when we discuss about the prediction. Yeah, the prediction is something like uncertainty in the future. So I think it represents the complexity itself. Yeah. So that would be also the cool way. And then when you see this one, actually when we do some modeling, yeah, in the data analytics, modeling is like we try to describe and then we try to form the complex phenomenon in the simple way. Yeah. So if you say say you make some clustering, yeah, for in the big data analytic, for example, from a lot of data. So it's mean like you want to simplify what the phenomenon in the data. In the, for example, 1 billion data, you will have a cluster from the people that like the movie, for example, in the 5 or maybe 10 or maybe 1,000 criteria, for example. Yeah, so that also, and we try to simplify about the complex phenomenon. So when you see this one, I think all the science do same things here, and then try to explain the phenomenon into the more easy way. Yeah. So that's why the equation occur in here, the formula, the model, and then we could look to the visual. Yeah. So we try to visualize the data. Yeah, something like that. And if we go to the it try to manage the complex phenomenon in the science. Actually, we try to do some relational processes here. So we realize that in the morphological capacity binary, the relation between entities and the effect produced by interaction are more relevant than the underlying substance, morphology, or classification. So it's mean we give the opportunity between the entities inside the science or phenomenon is do some relation and interaction. We doesn't know what type of interaction. We doesn't know about the relation that they will be built, yeah, together between the entities. But we believe that if they do some interaction in that time, they will produce the substance or morphological or morphology. So in here we can see that the morphology or the substance or classification or everything that we name with our own understanding is actually the result of the relation, and the relation not only just passive relation but active relation that produce with the interaction. Yeah. So in here we have several type. Yeah. So in here, like we have a relational ontology. Yeah, it is introduced by Barat. Yeah, replace agentio realis, conception or casuality. Yeah, and then process philosophy is Alfred North Whitehead. Yeah, this is a substance is temporary pattern produced by processes. Yeah, and then assemblage Deleuze and Guattari from the Guattari, fusion of horizon. Yeah, this is from the Gadamers. Yeah. So in here that we can see that the development and the progress of the relational processes, it can be reflected based on the ontology, yeah, based on the processes itself, and then can be assembled. Assemble it means like we create by our own definition, yeah, and then using the fusion. Fusion it's been like a futuristic parameters or components, yeah. So if we want to make it logic, yeah, so I think like you with your friend, even you not maybe not yet in the campus, but I think you believe that you have a relation. Yeah, relation. It's mean like because you are ontological related. Yeah, you are same student in the computer science. Yeah, for example, even you are different grade, different years, and so on. And then the process philosophy, you have same relation in the process of the study. You take same courses, you take same semester, for example. Yeah, so that would be in the processes. Yeah, because you have the interaction, you have the processes, and sometimes you have the assemble. Yeah, so for example, okay, you arrange with your friend that in the next semester you will take the seminar and proposal with this lecture, and then you plan with your friend, and then you propose together. Yeah, so that will be the example that you design your relation. And the fusion is maybe in this program you never discuss about your future, but unfortunately after you graduate and then you join the company, you are joined together with your friend in the same program actually. Yeah, so also the fusion that we never have some things. Yeah, but from here we can see that actually we can reflect that all this process is actually can be seen as phenomenon here. So in the very generative way, for me, sometimes I can see the phenomenon that the computer science student mostly after graduated want to work in the, for example, in the e-commerce startup, for example. Yeah, so being the data scientist or something. Yeah, so that's within the phenomenon. Actually, that phenomenon can be reflected from your history when you take the course, yeah, when you take the topics for your thesis and so on. So that would be also the phenomenon actually. So yeah, if you go to the personal, I think you can see. I think I can track from your history when you search in the YouTube, into what you read in the internet, what you learn from the Coursera. It will reflect it on the phenomenon that you will be resulted in the fusion or horizon. Yeah, so that's the science work. Yeah, so that the cool things. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first discussion of our discussion about the philosophy of technology. And the next discussion is we need to think that all these processes, yeah, the philosophy of technology is very depend on the human time. Yeah, it means it will be continuously uh, still will be developed. Yeah, in every decade, every years, every time. Yeah, because it will be flow of physics biology time. Yeah, so when I see myself, for example, yeah, when I joined in the first time in the department, for example, I think my discussion is more than like, explaining some theoretical way. Yeah. But after several years I joined and then I have some experience, I think my explanation will be increased too, yeah, based on my historical experience, for example, and also the time, yeah. So based on that one, and then we will found some states that it will be mature, and then we can deliver in the good things. Yeah. So that's why when we see our professor, for example, in our faculty, sometimes they just need to explain in one word that, but the meaning is a lot. Yeah. And then when we hear the word from the professor, I think we will listen carefully, and then we will think very deeply, and then we can react from that with the sum of good things. Yeah, something like that. So that would be how the human time is very important. So that's why in the university, when the people gain the professor level, it means they are in the top level of the philosophy actually. What they word is reflected the complex phenomenon that the professor already have the experience in a lot of years. Yeah, so that would be very important to find out. So that's why when you, for example, later if you go to broad and then continues your study in the university, in the foreign university, you will when you join the, for example, the class from the professor, I think maybe the professor is not very interactive, yeah, but when he explain, it's mean a lot, yeah. All the hall will be silent, and we will listen carefully. Maybe he will not like me today. I a lot of word that from me, yeah, but maybe not like that. The professor will be only state one point, and then but it's already explained a lot of things, yeah, something like that. So that because of the process, the phenomenon process that the professor have and then deliver to the student, yeah. So that will be the important point, yeah. And of course, not only just human time, but we also have the compute time, yeah. This is the computing clock time eras, yeah. So yeah, this is like in general machine learning and block time, yeah. This is like the type of the compute time that we can consider for this one. Yeah, this is like the example, like from the light wave particle duality. This is the first ever photograph of light as both particle and wave. Yeah, so this is like how we can see the phenomenon of the light that we cannot see, but we can explain in the scientific way. So that is also one of the, one of the interesting things on the science that we can explain, yeah. And I think a lot of another example, yeah. So I think you can see from many phenomena around you about it, yeah. So in here we can see also that we are in the position in the present now, yeah. But of course we will have a we will have a option which one we will choose, yeah. We will go to the retention or we go to the protension, yeah. So that will be the retention will be more focused on the past, yeah, and the protension will be focused on the future. So this is like how we can see the good point is actually how we balance this one, yeah. So we consider about something that's happened in the past, but we consider as reason and option for the future development. So that will be the good one. Yeah, a lot of things I think, and here we also need to discuss about the composability of physical time, yeah. So we have the information theory that try to formulate space-time as simultaneously discrete and continuous, yeah. This is from the Shannon, yeah. And time and matter are composable at small scale and etc. So I think that will be the theoretical of the time, the theoretical about the information is same things, yeah. But it will be different in the different aspect, yeah. So that will be the nice one. Oh, I see. Okay, so I think we running out of time here. Even a lot of discussion actually when we still need to discuss, but I will stop until this slide, and then hopefully this update can give you new insight about the philosophy of technology, and I will continue later on in the next session, yeah. So I would like to continue my explanation actually to explain about our mid-sem